Today and Wednesday, we're going to be checking out some Fatal Core TCG. This is a sponsored segment for them, but I've played some of their game in the past, and it's very reasonable and honestly quite innovative. I think there's a lot of different digital card games out there today, and I think Fatal Core probably has the most innovative slash different gameplay compared to all of the other games that exist. So let's I've got some decks that they sent me to import. So let's get a deck imported, and we'll dive on into some gameplay and talk about how it works. One of the things that's very interesting about Fatal Core is that there's absolutely no purchases inside of the client for an economy standpoint. So 100% of the cards that you play with are earned through gameplay. Let's get this deck code imported. Perfect. The deck building is also rather interesting as well. So you can see here down the right side when I've imported the deck. The deck's 12 cards. What number of cards deck? It's more than 12. It's 12 turns. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18 cards in the deck. And in the average game of Fatal Core, you see the entirety of your deck. And the cards that you're able to play have this rarity or power level next to them, and that dictates how many of those cards you can have. So you can have 3 S tier cards, 4A, 5B, 6C, etc. And then you can have up to 2 copies of the same card in the deck. This was this is Judgment Joanna for the deck name. Did it not save? Oh, I didn't click the save button. Oh, that's probably an interface thing I should pass on to them. If I back out of here and I didn't explicitly click save, it should autosave or offer me a prompt to save. Yeah, I only leave chat. I leave chat in sub-only mode for Magic because, believe it or not, Magic players tend to aggressively backseat more so than most other games. So it's not quite the same as Mythgard for deck building restrictions. You get up to 2 copies of any card in the deck, but the total number of cards for a given one are restricted. So like I could play 2 Shadow Stirrings, for example, or 2 Judgments, but only get 3 total S tier cards. I can play 2 of any of these cards in B, but I can only play 5. I can only play 5 total B tier cards. The same is true for each of them. So you can play 2 copies of things, but you can only play the total number of the slots here. So let's look at what some actual gameplay looks like, huh? Yeah, like I said, basically everything about this game is very innovative and different compared to every other card game out there. So, the way the gameplay works here is you start with 6 cards, and you can mulligan everything. But if you choose to keep, this is my first time playing with this deck, so I'm not 100% sure what everything does. I think we're looking for some token style things. I think this is a mulligan. End of turn. Erase Fading Spirit, summon Wisps. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're looking for. Things that summon Wisps. Okay, and then the cards in hand are largely face up in this game. So when you get your starting hand to keep, you pick 2 cards to hide from your opponent, and then your opponent's hand is entirely face up other than the 2 cards that they've hidden. So the way the game plays out is you each have this 3x2 board, and you play cards simultaneously. So I'm gonna pick a card to play, and they're gonna pick a card to play. So I think we want to get Fading Spirit down here. And we're going to play it here. And then their card flips up simultaneously. And then cards don't attack each other. They attack your opponent's life total directly unless the card has something in it that says it attacks your opponent's stuff. Okay, we're going to show this one because we're going to play this out because it's going to summon more wisps. You'll also note on the board, there's these modifiers under each of the 6 spaces, and these modifiers adjust the stat line of the cards that you deploy to them. So, for example, Scarred Disciple deals damage to itself to summon things onto my board, so I'm going to put it into this spot here so it has extra toughness from this spot. So it's a 2/6 at the base, so it'll be a 2/8 when I deploy it here. Each turn, set the power of a friendly creature with 1 or less to 3. Interesting. So I click go, and then both of our things flip up. This triggers to set this to 3. And what does this do? Each turn, deal 1 damage to a random opposing creature, repeat twice. So it does 1 damage 3 times, basically. Each turn, deal 3 damage to the highest power creature on the opponent's board. I'm going to hide this one. It seems like it might be a good one for them to not know is coming. So this pumps up all my Defiant Spirits, which I have 3 of now. So I think we're going to go ahead and put this down here. They have an Incendiary Stream here, though. This deals 8 damage to every creature in a row. So I kind of have to decide. So I probably don't want to deploy this here because they could Incendiary Stream an entire row. So there is some back and forth to knowing what cards they could have and then choosing your positioning because of it. It might be right to play out the Spell Thief here, actually, because this has an ability called Mana Magnet, which will counter one of my opponent's spells. There's also some appeal to trying to get the Sage going to pump my Wisps up. I'm going to gamble a little bit and do this and hope they don't Incendiary Stream this turn. And this thing will pump up all of my Wisps here. Yes, so this is my hand, my battlefield, my opponent's hand, my opponent's battlefield. Each player plays 1 card per turn. You choose which cards you're playing simultaneously, and then they're revealed to each other. I think we're just casting a spell. They have a Mana Magnet creature here, so this is just going to eat whatever spell I play. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Tremor. And it's going to get eaten by the Mana Magnet here. And you can see at end of turn, all of the things attack, just deals damage directly to my opponent. Oh, wait, these are Defiant Wisps? I didn't realize that Wisps and Spirits were different. I should have been paying attention to that. So I think we're just going to bolster here. Give something 3/3 and then give it 1/1 for each other thing on my board. Sounds real powerful. Okay, there's the Incendiary Stream. Wonder where they targeted. So that gets huge. And then they killed my top row here. Now, when things die, they leave corpses behind. And you have to have a card that lets you clear out corpses in order to put more units down. Thankfully, I have Shadow Stirrings here, which is going to clear out all of the corpses. This card's a real blowout, which is why I hit it. Because it's going to turn all of these corpses into 3/2s and clean them out. So your high impact cards are generally the ones you want to be hiding. The core mechanics of this one are like, it's very, very, like, you try to draw parallels to other games, there really isn't a parallel other than it's a card game. Like, it's a game played with cards. And the game is so you hide 2 cards at the start of the game in your opening hand, and then at some point you hide 1 other card you draw, and then you hide nothing else. Yeah, soulless means they don't leave a corpse behind, and they're not impacted by modifiers. So that's why these space modifiers aren't here. What do I want to do here? Deal 1 damage to random target opponent's board, repeat 5 times. It's not very good. Oh, Judgment is disgusting here. They're probably gonna Incendiary Stream my bottom row here, though. So I'm gonna put my Mana Magnet down, anticipating that they're gonna play a removal. Love it. So they did, in fact, Incendiary Stream. I predicted it correctly. And now I believe they're dead, actually, right? Because it's going to be 12 plus another 12. Yep, and we win the game because their health total went below 0. So there's 2 ways you can win the game. You can reduce their life from 80 all the way down to 0, like we did here. Or at the end of the 12th turn, whoever has more life wins the game. The deck that we're playing here is kind of aggressive. It's like a swarmy flood the board type deck. So we'll probably kill people most of the games that we win, but the more controlling decks will frequently win with going to turns, basically. It is best of 1. For deck building, in addition to the tiers of cards limiting how many of a copy of a thing you can play, I'm going to actually make myself a little bit bigger on this scene. There's also a champion that you pair with your deck that dictates which cards you can play. For example, you can see this one says neutral, this says Joanna/care, Joanna/care, etc. There isn't a resource system, so you'll note here that this says slow 4, which is the closest thing to a resource system this game has. This means you can't play this card until the 4th or later turn of the game. So some of the more powerful cards have that kind of waiting mechanic baked into them. And you'll note here, because our opponent's last game, both I and my opponent were playing Joanna, so all of our boards were the same. The champion that you pick not only dictates which cards you can have in your deck, but it also dictates what your spots on your board do. So their 6 spots are different than mine, and these 2 say grave. So at the end of the turn, if the grave is empty, they get to summon a corpse there. So their deck is going to be playing things that care about corpses. Must be played on top of a corpse. At the end of turn, it gets bigger for each corpse in play. Must be played on top of a corpse, etc. I think we're going to lead on Scarred Disciple here to get the Defiant Spirits going. Brutal. We can show that one. We were kind of all in on our boys surviving, and they were smart and hid their removal spell, so I didn't know it was coming. I guess we just cleanse this, but I don't really have a lot going on here. It is not available on mobile, so you can, well, I guess kinda. So if you go to, I think it's Fatal, if you go to their website, you can actually play it fully in your web browser. I'm gonna hide the Mana Magnet. So there aren't really turns in this game in the traditional sense, Cinder. Each turn is simultaneous, and both players pick which card they're playing at the same time, and then they're revealed. So there are cards with like this ability called Mana Magnet. That's a reactionary thing that sits on the board. Each turn, give a random opposing creature -1 life. Success, this gets smaller. Okay. This is only turn 3, so I can't actually play the stream yet. I guess maybe I shouldn't have hidden this. I'm actually just playing it. I don't really have anything else to do. Yeah, it's a good. Their core system is very reasonable and interesting, and it makes for pretty predictably length games too. Like, you know, a game's never lasting more than 12 turns. Not only is the game completely free to download, but you actually can't spend money on it. So their game is funded by people that enjoy it via crowdfunding, and there's no actual purchases inside the client itself. Unique, slow 3, target an empty column on your board, summon a gatekeeper and gate scion. Field change all empty space on your board to +1/+1. Interesting. Yeah, our draw has been a little awkward this game because they killed our token enabler on the first turn. So Judgment gives all creatures +3 attack, and then everything with 7 or more attack gets erased, which would be both of their things. It would kill my Defiant Spirit, but it would keep all of these around, so I think this is worthwhile. This is soulless now, so no longer. This is a sponsored segment for them. Yep. We've played this one on stream before. All right, so what are they doing? They have an incendiary stream, which isn't too amazing at the moment. I think I'm just gonna get the Scarred Disciple down up here. I do want to make sure I play the Scarred Disciple on a different row than my Defiant Spirit that's attacking here, because I don't want incendiary stream to kill both of them. Kill a random opposing creature with 3 HP or less. Get +1/+1 to remove this ability. Interesting. Feels like they're likely to incendiary stream my top row here, so I'm going to go ahead and play my Mana Magnet out. There's something incredibly satisfying about looking at your opponent's hand and just being like, this is about to happen, and then it happening, and your counterplay being appropriate. Go ahead and cleanse here. Erase target creature on your board, redraw 2, gain 8 life. So erasing some of these soulless things that are just sitting here doing nothing sounds super appealing. Gain 8 is also good. And then a redraw 2 lets me put cards from my hand back into my deck. Sitting on Judgment seems fine. Scattershot seems not great. Hey, we might have lethal next turn. So Demon Grass, give opposing creature 3 erase power 1 or below. That does not impact us. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and bolster here. They're going to Mana Magnet, but then we have Lethal on board, right? So in this case, this being soulless is mostly it taking up space, but there's other soulless things that will like still have attack and defense and be helpful. So soulless things aren't impacted by modifiers and don't leave corpses behind. Which I feel like I need a flavor judge on a soulless thing not leaving a corpse behind. How do flavor judges feel about no corpses for soulless things? I don't have any specific Jeff link for this. I assume they know that most people that are clicking in to download today know that it was from me, Gemini. And we're going to be doing, this isn't just a one-off with them, so we're going to be playing Fatal Core for a little bit this afternoon. We're going to do some on Wednesday, and then we're going to be doing some every week this month. I think we're probably just going to chill and learn the ins and outs of this tokens deck to start today. And then we'll switch up and play something different on Wednesday. It's been a second since I've played, and there's a number of new cards that they've added. This card game's adding cards as always. All right, so I'm pretty sure just like any opening hand with Scarred Disciple is super keepable. And I think I want to hide my Mana Magnet and my slow card here. And if you're not fully grasping all of it through the bits and pieces I'm talking about here on stream, there is an in-game tutorial that walks you through the basics. And the tutorial is actually really well done. It like has you take game actions and then it asks you questions about what happened on your screen to see if you were paying attention and understood what happened. Like really, a really good, like as a former teacher, it's like, yeah, this is the right way to do this. Like give them a problem and then make sure they understood the problem. Each turn, erase a random opposing creature with Mana Magnet. Success gain life equal to its HP. That one might be worth hiding, actually. Because this way, if I think they're going to deploy a Mana Magnet, I can play this and eat it instead. Mass Effect 1 was a ton of fun. We're like an hour or so into Mass Effect 2. So I can't actually use Cleanse yet because I haven't killed anything on my board. What do I do here? I think I'm just scatter-shotting. None of my other plays really sound that exciting. I guess I could Tremor this row here, which would clear this out, and then it would deal a little bit of damage to everything else, making Scattershot more effective down the line. Let's do that, actually. Yeah, I enjoy Griflansteinstein. So we're a little bit behind in terms of total damage at the moment. Definitely losing the race. I kind of need something on my board to die so I can use the cleanse. All right, so they just traded for my spell, which is fine. Yeah, we were losing the race by a lot. These deal damage to my stuff. Hopefully we're gonna leave a corpse behind now. Nope, not yet. Yeah, yeah, they haven't killed any of my stuff, and this demands a corpse. Yeah, we're actually just kind of stuck here, huh? That's fine. Can't win them all. The Cinder deck looks sweet. This is one, OG Hespera, they're in chat, is one of the people that works in the game. And they sent me a list of decks to give a try to. Over the next month here or so while we're playing. I think I mulligan this. It doesn't have any way to generate tokens to start. This is also, unfortunately, a little bit awkward. Yeah, I was just, like, full-on stuck with an awkward hand, Hesp. Render the opponent's highest power creature soulless. Success, take 5 self-inflicted damage and render this soulless. Well, I don't have any token generators to start. So I guess we'll just scattershot and hope to kill. Yeah, so we just traded 1 for 1 here. We have Call, which generates some tokens, but this has slow 3, so I can't play it till the 3rd turn. Inhuman, thank you for the 2 years of support, and thank you for the tier 3. That's very generous of you. I'm gonna hide this because I don't want them to know that I'm playing it out. Because if I play it out, they might play like Agile Antivirus, which will get to render it soulless before it makes friends. Well, they rendered it soulless, but we got a thing out of it first, at least. Bolster's a good pickup. The problem here is they're going to render... They're probably going to put down another Agile Antivirus to render my highest thing soulless, which will get rid of the bonus on it. Judgment isn't particularly exciting on this board. Maybe I just go ahead and Dark Resonance. Cycle this out. Get rid of the Sunkite and the Tremor, question mark? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now I think we're in the clear to bolster Magate Scion. Unless one of these is a surprise. Well, definitely don't want a Judgment, because our board is really, really thick. This might just be a skip, huh? I don't actually have anything I can play out that I want to. You can't play cards over other spots on your board. Your spots on your board is a resource you have to manage. I think we're just waiting to kill him here, hopefully. Okay, so now that I am a little bit familiar with what our deck is doing, let's look at our deck and see if I agree with all of the card choices in it. We have 2 Scarred Disciples. That makes sense. Bolster's pretty good. Tremor's felt only okay. Dark Resonance has felt good. Scattershot's been kind of whatever. I kind of want another Fading Spirit as a way to just have a way to put things into play. Do Defiant Wisps not have stat lines by default? They're 1/4s. I feel like I might want another Fading Spirit. It feels like it's pretty important that we have Scarred Disciple or something to start making things with to start on the first turn. So we've got our Scarred Disciple, which sounds great. I'm going to hide the Shadow Strings and the Judgment here. They're kind of big impact cards. I'm also not convinced that we need to cleanse in the C rank cards. This would be something potentially worth swapping out. Opponent deciding whether or not they want to hide the card they've drawn for the turn. This is gonna render this Soulless. That one's fine to show. Honestly, I wonder if I'm just supposed to Judgment this turn and just like crank up the damage. It technically gives me 3 more power than them. I could also Dark Resonance and get rid of this, gain 8. Maybe that's better. I don't really need 2 Cleanse or 2 Judgment. It's fine. I think we might just Judgment here. I've got 3 things. I guess I could deploy 1 more thing to the board, and then we have similar amounts of stuff. We could just get the Mana Magnet down here. Let's do that. Just try and commit more stuff to the board at this point. Show that one. And I'm going to go ahead and do the Judgment now, I think, right? It's like my only play. What does this do? Each turn... Oh, this attacks my stuff. If there's a soulless creature on your board, gets +1/+1. If it's 4 or more, remove the ability. Interesting. Yeah, I think we just go for the face here. Because this attacks my thing, so we're 18 to 14 now. In terms of the amount of damage we have in play. Oh, we're going to hide the crap out of that one. Bolster you, friend. Right. And then... just go ahead and Shrimmer their top row because it kills something. Yeah, so this character has a mechanic called Hunt, for example, where it attacks opposing units directly. But in general, the toughness is only if they're like being hunted or other things like that, yeah. Close game. Round of 15. All right, we've got Scarred Disciple. I think again we hide the higher impact cards we might want to play later, so I'm gonna hide Stream and Judgment. Maybe we will try a second deck today too. Was thinking we'd stick on this one, but I think I've got a handle on it. Wouldn't mind showing off another thing. Someone's a Cinder every turn. I think I'm just gonna put the Spell Thief down to insulate against a spell, and this also hits their highest damage attack thing each turn, so it just kills the Cinder here, which is nice. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and beat up their mana magnet here. It's clearing their mana magnet here means that my incendiary stream has a window to go now. They don't have any mana magnets face up, so I think I just go ahead and stream this. I could actually I should just Judgment, right? This will be over. Yeah, let's just Judgment. Yeah, that's an incredible swing. I think we just put another mana magnet down here, right? So we're going to try and sweep the board, and this keeps them off it. Yeah, Judgment. Judgment is a new card that wasn't in the game last time. I played about a year ago. It's very... I had played this Wisp deck that we're currently playing previously, and Judgment is definitely very good in it. Thanks for the follow, Milligan. Yeah, so whenever I do segments for other card games like this, I always prefer to play Constructed as opposed to Limited, so I always ask the folks behind the game to send me over a list of decks to try. So that was the first of the ones they sent. This one says Control-ish. Let's see what that looks like. Let's be a good card game player and read some of our cards before we jump into the game. Reading is busted, chat. Prince Anza, 3/5. Each turn, deal 2 damage to each opposing creature for each corpse on your board. Slow 4 each turn. Erase opposing creatures with 4 power or less. Transform it into a Crypt Naga. Oh, I gotta look that up. Okay. Well, and Crypt Naga is a card we can actually play too. I think there's Crypt Nagas in the deck. Oh, that was someone else we had played against played a Crypt Naga. Spell Thief, Stream. Creatures other than Whisper Demon have +2, -2. Okay. Must be played on top of a corpse. Magnet. Target a column on your opponent's board. Field change in that column to -0, -2. Deal 1 damage to all opposing creatures. So this changes what bonuses or penalties their board has to all penalties in the column, which is nice. The power total of your board is 6 or below. Switch power with the highest power on your opponent's board. Give target opposing creature -3. Success. Erase all opposing creatures power 1 or lower. Render target opposing creature soulless. Give spell scarred 2 to all opposing creatures. Deal 2 damage, 1 damage to all of them. So basically just 3 to everything then. All right, let's give this a try. I've definitely loaded up card games that had to spend 5 minutes reading my opening hand. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna hide the Shadow Strings and the Arcfiend. Feels like generally hiding your highest impact cards is most beneficial. Take 3 self-inflicted damage to target creature's HP to 8. Give a random creature on your board +1/+1. Repeat 2 times. Redraw 2. Oh, they're playing a different champion. Let's give something Rage 1. This gains them a life each turn. That card's really good. I wonder if our Joanne deck should have been playing that. It's like a good way to fill the board up. So you can hide you hide 2 cards at the start, and then 1 other draw step throughout the course of the game. You get to hide 1 card. Target a column on your opponent's board. Whisper Demon's actually not super great here. I guess we could high roll on this. Deals 2 damage. Turn opposing creature for each corpse on your board. This technically makes my opponent's things bigger, but it sets me up for a pretty good Tremor next turn. Let's game a little bit. Okay, this whole row is super weak now. So we get to go ahead and just Tremor these top idiots. Our life total is rather low from these hits, though. I guess this is kind of a non-bow with our Whispering Demon. Oh, yikes. So they gave that 3/3, and then I hit it. Oh, that does 6. Oh, that's perfect, actually. I'm gonna drop this down, so I think there's a good chance they play out a unit here as well, and then this will eat whatever they play. And then we can start pulling ahead in terms of the life total. Well, they had a spell. Okay. Well, that's kind of scary. It does deal 5 to them. So it's going to do 11 to us, but then do 5 back. So it's technically only doing like 6 in terms of racing. Then I think we just go ahead and Incendiary Stream here to clear this out. Then anything small that they play, this is threatening to get rid of. So this will clear this. And then this gets rid of this. Is it as confusing as Artifact? To set a low bar, this game is much easier to pick up than Artifact. For starters, this is the only board, instead of there being 3 more of them. Play a Norco out here. Was this gonna kill it? Yeah, it deals 2 to something with power, low power. Spellscar 1, end of turn, if its HP is 2 or below, erase it. Summon 3 Defiant Spirits to spaces on your board. Yeah, if you never experienced Artifact, let's just say you're not missing much. So this modifies these fields to actually flip this down. And then this gets to go ahead and finish it off. Good clean living there. We were a little bit behind to start, but our control took over here nice and clean. And this gets played on top of a corpse, so you get to drop this right out here and finish up. Thippy, thanks for the follow, by the way. Missed that one a couple minutes ago. Unless there's some big crazy thing that I am not familiar with. I assume they're just dead here. They're at 3. And we have a pretty commanding. There's sweeper effects that like sweep rows or columns, but I don't think there's anything that clears the entirety of the board. We have successfully controlled chat. We are in control. Remember, if you're just dropping in, this is Fatal Core. If you want to check it out, it is available on Steam. You can also load it up in your web browser on their website. It is the 100% free community-driven trading card game. So there's actually no purchases in client. All the cards that you get are earned through playing. So, this game does have, it is actually a trading card game, so you get cards you earn through packs, and there is also an in-game marketplace that you can exchange cards with other players on, too. So it is actually a trading card game, not just a collectible card game like a lot of the others. Alright, so I don't really know... like our deck. This deck's more generic than the last aggressive deck we were playing, so I don't know that we really need to be mulliganing for particular cards. I'll lead on Halfling. So it just starts putting up damage on their smaller units. I want to leave these grave spots open so they fill with corpses for me. Speaking of corpses. Oh, they're also playing Hush. Their deck appears to be a bit different than ours, with things like Coffin and Fractal Pawn. So this has Hunt, which means it attacks the units on my board directly. I think I'm going to go ahead and undermine this column, because it'll put this from -1 health to -2, which means this will die. It also leaves us kind of a lasting effect behind after. Spell Thief sounds kind of appealing here, because it'll kill this egg. Thanks for the follow, Isabel. And we've got a little bit of attack, and this has Mana Magnet here now too, so their next spell will get taken off. And then I think the Prince here means that between these two together, like, playing spells isn't great for them, and the Prince is going to mess up their board. So if they choose to deploy a unit instead of playing a spell into my Mana Magnet, their board gets messed up from my Prince. They did play a spell to clear my Magnet. Yep. Kills that. Very low damage game so far, both of our decks being very controlling. Lab-grown failure. If there are less than 2 lab-grown failures on the board, summoning lab-grown failure. Okay. Just drop Doppelfiend. Just want to put more power into play, I think. You know what? I probably should have put this down here to play around Incendiary Stream. Something I wasn't thinking about. That being said, I think we just go ahead and Shadow Strings here, because it's going to give me 12 power. It'll clear these 4 corpses for 3/2s. There are cards that remove corpses from the opponent's board as well, yeah. Usually for some kind of benefit. Let's hide that one. That might be one for them to not be good. End of turn, erase a red corpse on your board. Give 3 attack to the highest HP friendly creature. That's pretty good. Gonna go ahead and Tremor here, I think. And I assume this counts itself for giving +3 attack. Yeah. Down to 38. If I just keep their board pretty clear, we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and Incendiary Stream here, because if they deploy another unit, it has to be in this empty spot. And then this is turn 10, and remember there's only 12 turns, so even if our opponent catches back up at this point on board, the game will end at the end of turn 12 based on who has the higher life total. That erased all corpses in play, even mine. Gave them a little bit of life, but I think they're just too far behind at this point. Can force them to redraw some cards here. I clicked the same thing twice. Let's target these, actually. And that looks like, it says final turn here. It looks like we're actually just going to be... Gonna actually clear out the full 10 here. Hush approaches the concept of corpses a bit differently than others. Yeah, utilizing them as a resource is neat. Yeah, that seems fine. Pick 2 to hide. Definitely want to hide the corruption and probably just my sweeper at this point. Yeah, assassin, actually. We'll lead on the prince. Looks like they're playing the token deck that we were playing a second ago. Something similar. We'll be able to Pain Feast that in a second. I think we just drop the Prince here. Killing this has a lot of value. I guess there's also value in getting down another unit this turn, though. Because if I get another unit down this turn, it means that the scatter shot won't kill my Prince. Let's do that, actually. Wow, that's such sick beats. Our RNG killed that one. Sometimes lucky. Thanks for the follow, game layer. I don't have anything with 3 HP or less yet. Surrender something soulless, right? So I think I want to render this one soulless. Oh, they had a mana magnet in play. Oh, I'm so dumb. It was not... It said magnet 2 for a second. Let's hide that one. Are we playing that one? We might be playing that one. You just like give plus minus and then let RNGesus take the wheel on these. I think that's the play. Wait, what? What the fuck just happened? Oh, they were until end of turn. I was like, whoa, their board just got fucking huge. All right, they went away. All right, crisis averted. I think, maybe. Oh, you know what? This was wrong because this is making these bigger, right? Or wait, did that work out? That might have worked out. Pain Feast, Tremor. Yeah, Whispering Demon seems loose against the tokens deck. For sure. Okay. It's a good draw. And their judgment cleared our board. Okay. So, huh. Ooh, that actually I think was the best draw in our deck. It clears our corpses and gives us 4 3/2s. All right, we finally pulled out ahead here. And then I think we just put down the mana magnet was another good running draw here, right? We just like drop the mana magnet so they can't spell us this turn. And then our soulless kill them. Yeah, that was a good game, Isabella. Definitely a control deck, right? Like both those games that we've played so far with this one, like we were solidly behind to start and then inched our way back in. Yeah, like I said, I think the Shadow Stirrings was the best draw remaining in our deck at that point. Easily. Assassin going. So we're a bit ahead in damage right now. Dealing 9 to their 5. Raise target creature on your board, create an exact copy of it, +2/+2 in your space. Interesting. I think we're just dropping the Prince here to push more damage. Each turn, render an opposing creature with mana magnet Soulless. Okay, and this is at 2/2 right now. So I think we just drop Whispering Demon here. Because that'll finish this off, and then my other damage dealers can poke at the rest of them. Oh, man. They were going to try and copy the thing that we killed. Brutal. This is definitely the most aggressive draw our deck has had. And I think we just, like, incendiary your top row here. It's like shove them in a trash can. Whispering Demon's been fine. It's put us in, like, some awkward-ish board states, but it's been relatively useful at finishing things off. Knights of Misfortune. Cute. I kind of like this control deck. Both the decks we played have been interesting. Very, very different play pattern styles between the two. Getting to highlight an aggressive deck and now a control deck. To showcase the range of play patterns the game supports. I'll have to try and find something mid-rangey for Wednesday. We got a few other decks to shift through. I'm like always hiding Shadow Strings because it's so powerful. Spell Thief's probably a good one for them to not know about as well. Honestly, it's probably just Spell Thief on one here. Summons a copy of itself somewhere. Hitting one of their grave spots a little unlucky. A little punished for putting Spell Thief here because I can't play the Whispering Demon out now without killing my Spell Thief. So if I target this here, this will die to the field change. This pumped before I did my damage. So we do this, and then it's gonna erase all of these? Is that how this works? One or less, right? Goodbye, friends. Kill arena opposing creature. Oh, I didn't have the ability to deal damage to this now. We can show that one, right? And then I think I'm gonna drop Whisper Demon, which will make this small enough for Underworld Assassin to deal with it. All right, so we've stabilized their side of the board a little bit, and we've caught up. It just made a corpse right away. Good stuff. You do monthly tournaments. How do those work, Espra? Are they open entry? Are they Swiss? Are they double elimination? Where do people go to learn more about your tournaments? It's definitely something I should know about to plug. So none of their stuff. Underling's a little bit of a non-bow with Demon, which is fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop Mana Magnet down. Like it feels like if you're ahead on board, having a Mana Magnet is smart. Oh no, chat! I put the Mana Magnet here, but then it died to my Whisper Demon because I forgot to do the math. Fuck. I was like, why did it die? Mana Magnet's supposed to exile it. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. I have some regrets, okay? That was like my first big punt, though. Open entry, double elim. Most of the time, they're played out on Battlefy. Okay. Despite my mistake, we are currently ahead still, I think, here. They are full on gummed up with corpses here at the moment. Oh, what a read. Wait, how does Hespera, how does it work if I Shadow Stirrings and they Grim Harvest? Do I get my things? Whose resolves first? How does that work? Oh, we just both get the effects. Deal. Call. So they'll gain 16 here, but we'll get a bunch of stuff. I accept the terms of this arrangement. Yeah, the simultaneous turns is very neat. Just redraw those two. They're probably gonna play the ambush. Oh, they didn't. Nice. All right, let's do one more with Control Hush, and then we're gonna vibe with some Mass Effect for the last little leg of the stream today. Remember, if you want to check this out, this is Fatal Core TCG. You can check it out on Steam as well as their website. It's free to get into. Check out their Discord server as well. They've got tournaments and other stuff going on in there. It sounds like that's sweet. I'm gonna hide my slow cards. So they don't know they're coming. I'm gonna drop the Dark Prince to start here. So it slowly hurts you and then eventually heals you a bunch. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop the underling. Just get a bunch of damage put up on their board here, I think. I'm gonna hide my mana magnet, actually. I don't want them to know that that's coming. Only turn 3, so still can't use these. Honestly, I feel like we're ahead with both of these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put Shrine Servant down for the mana magnet. The fact that all of our damage is getting spread out here is not quite ideal. Similar amounts of attack here, which is nice. I guess the Mind Crush is gonna clean out both of these, which is nice. I could deploy some of these at this point. Let's go ahead and Mind Crush and target their Incendiary and the Soul Sculptor. This thing is staying just a little bit bigger than our thing that can kill them. Oh, that's great. So this'll hit the board and it'll finish this off. Bye, friends. This card's been awkward, but it's been sweet. I like this one. Drop an Arc Fiend. I don't really have anything fantastic I could do at this point, so I guess we just do this for the field change. And they don't really have great things to play on either, right? Because the fact that I have 4 corpses here means that this prince is just like gonna slaughter them. That's 2 for each corpse on my board. I honestly probably should have just pressed skip here, because this is going to kill this anyways, right? Because it does 8. Oh yeah, this is hitting it too. This is the smallest chipping away while we beat down their board. Honestly, I think we're just on the chill out plan. All right, they got a Defiant Spirit out of the mix, I guess. Oh, yeah. Pop some friends, win the game. Hey, BB Brutal, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Man, even Incendiary doesn't get him out of it at this point, right? I can clear one of my rows. The other row's gonna finish him off. Good stuff. Sweet. So I've got a few other decks that we're going to be battling with later this week and in the coming weeks. Later this month here on Fatal Core stuff. You want to check it out? Check it out on Steam. I think I'm all card gamed out for the day though. So we're gonna wrap up with some chill Mass Effect. We've been playing through the Legendary Edition remaster for that game. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, me too. These two are both super sweet today. Really good range of play patterns. I thought we were just gonna chill on the aggressive deck, but I'm glad we swept over and did some control as well.